Welcome back to the Scrum. May 27th, dude.
May 27th, bro.
Yeah. Apparently.
It's June, like, in a few days.
That's weird.
May, wasn't even here. May never even happened.
Put a big asterisk next to May, dog.
We're putting asterisks on everything, dude.
Asterisks on everything. Asterisks on the Stanley Cup this season. Asterisks on May. Asterisks on your life.
So put an asterisk on my job telling me I'm not doing good enough right now. You know what I'm saying? It's not my fault, man.
But
they didn't say
dude,
that.
that's a good thing, dude. I'm gonna do that too. My wife's telling me I need to do more around the house. I'm like, man, put an asterisk on it.
Put an asterisk on that. You know what I'm saying?
Real.
We gotta understand these are uncommon times, you know,
unprecedented times.
Unprecedented.
Josh went through 48 storm brews.
He went through 48, yeah.
In like a week and a half.
He's like, babe, let's put an asterisk. You know what I'm saying? It's 48, but it's 48.
I know, she was
put an asterisk on this case of storm brews.
She's like, sweetie, these are symptoms of alcoholism. I was like, let's put an asterisk on it. Let's put an
asterisk on that. You know, let's see where we're at in another month. We'll see where we're at in another month.
Exactly. So they just put an asterisk on it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, a lot of things are getting asterisked. North Carolina is probably gonna have a few asterisks on it.
A lot of weird shit going on.
Yeah.
There was there's some race this weekend in Burlington that it was over 2,500 people at it. They claimed that it was 50% capacity. But once they got put on blast about it today, a whole bunch of pictures went out. I don't know if you guys saw them, but I mean, it's people sitting elbow to elbow.
Really?
Oh yeah, no mask, no nothing. 2,500 people in that crowd, and they said that they had reached out to the Department of Health, who cleared everything. Well, the Department of Health came back, clapped back at them today, and said, no, we agreed to no fans, and you're allowed to race at the racetrack. So it was a whole thing. So they're like, North Carolina is again looking ridiculous.
God, man, we can't get out of our own way, not looking like a dumb redneck state, man.
Someone told me that Alamance County has now the highest curve in cases, and that's where.
Fuck. Yeah. Fuck. I did see something today about
right over there.
A rise in infections since places have reopened. I didn't look at any numbers or which places in particular, but
it's all the liberal media, boys. It's all the
over
liberal
2,000 people together.
You guys don't know, but actually he's got Tucker Carlson in his fucking headphones right now.
Mm-hmm. I'm not listening to anything you clowns are saying, dude. None of your fucking left-wing bullshit. It's just Alex Jones, Tucker Carlson, and fucking Ben Shapiro in these headphones.
That's something else. Yeah, that's another level, dude.
Oh, I'm kidding.
So Jacob, are you supportive of all the 24 strip clubs right now that are suing Cooper?
Look, man, the government's overstepping their bounds, bro. The government's stepping over their bounds, and someone's got to demand recourse, Cody. Someone's got to do it.
They're saying that it is infringing on their constitutional rights. Bowling alleys are also suing. I don't know why those two.
Yeah, strip clubs. I'm getting naked.
Hey, it's a lot of fingers and holes.
A lot of.
Wait, what was that, Cody? Do that again.
What kind of action's going on there, dude?
You got two bowling ball.
It's the bowling ball grip. It's the.
Oh, I didn't see the thumbs.
I'm saying, but when are you doing that? When are you doing this to a female?
Well, there's obviously two females.
And are they on their sides?
Or dudes, depending on what you're into.
They're on the jungle gym.
Depending on which bowling alley you go to.
Why are you on a jungle gym? That's probably a school property, bro. You catch a case.
This podcast is taking some hard left and right turns everywhere.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? No, that is crazy. And then you said the casino's opening up too, isn't it?
Yeah, the one out in Cherokee. So tomorrow they're opening up at 30% capacity. So I don't see that happening. I don't see them not just people blowing other people over to get in there.
Yeah.
Josh, I know you and I have been there. I don't know what that place would be like at 30%, but I could just imagine there's people.
I wouldn't know the difference.
Yeah.
Did you go in there? You get lost in there, dude.
No windows, no clock.
But also how many decks of cards are really getting used? You know what I'm saying? You're constantly playing poker or blackjack. People are touching the cards, reshuffle, reveal.
Right.
Dude, it's not even. I don't think it's even just that so much as to be honest, when you get into the nitty gritty of that place, there's not a lot of elbow room. 30% capacity would be pretty empty. And there's like big open walkways, but once you get like, like to get to like some of the tables and stuff, you got to go between the slots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, and just,
some of those,
if you think about it,
it's just tight.
Everything you're doing there is touching, whether it's the slot machines, it's the cards, it's your chips. Like they can't sanitize everything. So I have no idea.
Have like wipes at every single slot. That's like,
yeah, I have no idea what.
That's like thousands and thousands, millions of wipes, dude.
Mm-hmm.
So what?
So I was just saying, I don't know what they're gonna do.
Yeah. Wow. I mean,
gloves,
gamblers got to gamble, bro. You can't just do online poker forever, dude. It's not the same.
D-Gen got a D-Gen.
Exactly.
D-Gen's got a D-Gen, boys.
So pod trip to Haraz. Is that what I'm sensing?
That's what I'm talking about, dude.
Cool.
Yeah.
So yesterday, Gary Bettman, he had a press conference. What the fuck was up with that setup? Was that like was that in the White House? Was that like in like his office?
I don't know. He was like really close and just like reading above the whole time.
He was in his closet.
Oh, yeah.
That's where he does all his press releases, is his closet.
Was he wearing pants?
No way, dude.
No way.
Not
No
even
chance.
underwear. Man was just like, we got to do. He got his little thing. It's just a one piece. Pulls it over.
He was wearing whitey tighties with slippers.
Yep.
Like
he
bunny
just
slippers.
woke up. Bettman's been chilling. He just woke up. He's like, man, can't do anything for the league. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He's chilling. Having a grand old. That's why he had to have everything written out.
What was up with that red chair? Like the velvet chair behind him? It was like an empty chair. It was like an empty chair just offset to his center.
He was trying to stage it like Goodell, but it was just like not nearly as good.
You know when you got to go speak with player safety, it's you and Bettman in that tiny ass room, and you just got to sit down and talk about what you did out there on the ice. And he gets real quiet, real whispery, real threatening, dude. He runs that shit like the mob. Yeah, go to your house, dude.
He goes, look, I'm not mad.
Yeah,
I'm just disappointed.
Now this is never going to happen again, right? And then Tom Wilson goes out there and does it again. So one day he's just going to disappear. He's never going to come back to the ice. It's just him and Ryan Reeves pretty much. They've carved their names into the arm of the chair and shit. Like it's detention in high school.
Player.
Huh?
Now you're calling Ryan Reeves a dirty player?
I'm calling him a line stepper. A line stepper, you know what I'm saying?
Habitual.
Whatever.
I don't know, dude.
Whatever, dude. Fucking whatever. All right, so Bettman, he comes out. He comes out. He comes out, hits the blunt, and he announces the regular season, the 1920 regular season's done. Over. They can give awards out. A couple of those to mention. Ovi and Pasta regretfully have to share the Richard Trophy, both at 48. No one broke 50 this year.
Ovi
had 60 goals.
Has that ever happened where two people share the trophy?
I'm sure.
I don't know. I'm sure it has.
I'm sure it has. I just can't think of any recent. I'm sure.
Right.
Probably fucking before like sometime before like 2010. I'm sure, or like between like 2000 and 2010. I'm sure a couple times. Fuck, I don't know.
Stats, right?
Stats. Yeah, should look that up. Also speaking of Ovi, shouts out Ovi. He had his baby.
Yeah, he did.
He did. He's got a
second kid.
It's his second boy, so he's got a full
2 boys.
He's got a full
Wow.
line now. Yeah, no, like left wing, right wing.
Let's
Third,
go, dude.
he's gonna play center with him.
He's gonna play until his sons are in the NHL.
No,
Did he have a did he was his first child before the cup or after the cup? I feel like it was after, wasn't it? Like I feel like they've had these
That
two
kid
children
can like
kinda
run around
close.
and shit, so it wasn't
That's true.
that recent.
That's true. I don't know.
I know
I'm not
his
sure,
new.
man. I want to say. I think it was before. I want to say it was before. There was something too going on. Excuse me, going on like around with that. Like, I don't know, maybe it was another Capitals player. Someone like announced a pregnancy or like had a kid or like something like said like they were keeping it a secret until like after the playoffs because they didn't want to like fucking deal with the shit. Some shit like that. But maybe that wasn't him.
His newborn's first name is Ilya, and so he's just born to play hocky.
Oh, nice.
Ilya Ovechkin. That's
Ilya Ovechkin.
awesome
That's
name.
going to be that's going to be a mind fuck for us in like 15, 20 years when he's in the league. And like, yeah, back in my day, we're gonna.
I saw old Pappy.
Yeah.
And Ilya Kovalchuk's on the Capitals too. It's crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's
crazy.
Yeah. I'm sure it's a common name too, but like
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure Kovalchuk's like, hey.
Mm-hmm.
He's like,
that's my
so
son.
Alex, You named your kid after me, man. That's disrespectful as fuck.
It's mad disrespectful. But
Mad
Ovi's got to take that up with Ilya, you know?
He does. Shouts out Draisaitl won the Art Ross with 1 million points. So shouts out him. You can go ahead and give the President Trophy to the fucking stinky Bruins. Good for them.
So wait, are these any legit? Did they are they actually giving out the trophies this year?
I mean, these are what these trophies will be awarded. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know because there wasn't a full season, if they were just not if they were going to. Because the President's Trophy, given it to the Bruins, that's kind of
one of the first things Bettman said was awards will be handed out. He said, he had said that. So I mean, it is what it is. Put an asterisk on it. Put an asterisk on it.
It's definitely got an
put an asterisk on it.
It is what it is. So I mean, there you go. Good for them. I'm sure the players could give a fuck in that regard. I'm sure at this point they're just stoked to get back. Yeah. Kobe's probably more pissed he didn't break 50.
Yeah.
Jacob, you asked me on Xbox the other day how I feel about him not getting more goals or not breaking 50.
It would have been his 9th 50-goal season, I think. 9th or 10th 50-goal season.
Again,
Kobe could have broken – he only needed one more shutout to, I think, break the shutout record for the Capitals. He would have been the sole owner.
And I'm sure there's probably even – not that those aren't amazing records, but I'm sure there's some awesome, incredible records that other players and other people within the league or other organizations would have achieved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That nothing as good as that Iron Man streak I had going for the content we were doing, but
nothing means as much. That's for sure.
Not everything can be as great as me. You know what I'm saying?
Dude,
it's tough.
I've always said it. I've always said it about you.
I've always said it.
It's true. It's very true.
I guess now Jacob holds the title. He's got to have the longest in the row now.
I don't know. Technically, it might be Dylan. No, it's not. I don't know.
I'm coming to take my crown back. Don't even worry about it. I'm back on the horse, boys.
I'm gonna steal all his microphones and cameras, boys. Don't worry. We're gonna.
And I'll still.
All of those cameras.
All those cameras.
I'll be out here with the fucking. What are those? Remember those flip cameras or whatever?
The flip Razor phones.
No, the phone, bro. Like the flip, bro.
It's called the flip. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You remember the commercials those douchebags. Cody, you probably seen a few people in Lincoln or the brewery out there bringing their flip, probably because they get fucking knocked out.
Flip. And it had a little USB at the end, and you just popped it right.
It looked like a little dildo with a microphone on the front and a camera.
Interesting.
And you press a button and it flipped.
It looked like a remote control to your TV, but it was a camera.
But it flipped.
Yeah.
It flipped, bro.
That's what we're gonna start doing all the pod video on is flip cameras.
I'm saying I'm resourceful.
Nah, dude, just
you come steal my
cameras.
shit. I'm still putting shit out. I'll be out here like on an old Nokia.
Just calling into the podcast.
Yeah. I'll set up some call-in number from India and just stream that.
Yeah.
Whatever I got to do, man. Whatever I got to do.
That's called dedication.
For real. So, a bunch of other things with Bettman's press conference, press release, whatever you want to call it. So right now, too, players can't formally meet up. I think by mid-June they'll be allowed to, once they get the go-ahead, they'll be allowed to meet up outside of. I think some of them are kind of doing it in really, really, really small groups now, but they'll be allowed to do it in more informal, larger groups. And then hopefully by no later than July 1st, sometime again, hopefully mid-June, if it all goes well, they'll be able to go into phase 2, which will allow players to meet at team facilities and have formal practices, basically. And then if all that can happen, then I think then they'll move into actual formal training camps. So there's all these gray areas of them being able to meet up, them being able to actually have skates, and then formal warm-up practices, I guess, before games would actually begin.
What scares me is obviously they haven't really set any dates for starting times or anything. And all of this stuff is dependent on what happens the next couple of weeks. And if that goes to shit, we could still, they've announced this, but we could still not get it. It could very well, just because
not
they
with that
announced
attitude.
Shit. Well, I know. Trust me, that I got extremely excited yesterday, and then I was like, wait, this might all be for nothing.
Yeah, it's still a month away, at least.
Yeah, a couple other things too that he helped confirm. Obviously, that there will be 24 teams. A lot of the rumors were pretty much spot on. Yeah. He did say the possibility of rounds 1 and 2 being 5 best of 5. Mm-hmm. So it could not just be just the first round, but also the second. I think. It makes
really
interesting.
That
makes
will
sense.
probably depend on when they can actually start.
Yeah, speed that shit up. And I think as
Right.
late as it probably will end up starting, fuck, I wouldn't be surprised if they go to a best of 3 in the first. I mean, some people might really be against that, but time might be of the essence. I don't know.
I think my
He did
favorite.
say though. Say it.
I was just say my favorite thing about that whole thing. A lot of it we already knew. We already assumed the matchups. But the fact that the first 4 seeds are playing that round robin games, I think that's really sick. Because then hopefully we don't have to play Washington in the second round.
Well, when they announced this plan initially, immediately the whole thing was these teams are just going to have breaks, and it's going to hurt them more than it's going to help them with other teams having game time. And
I mean, it makes sense.
So they obviously are putting this in to kind of help counter that.
Are the play-in games considered the first round of the playoffs?
They are for us against the Rangers. But they're still
for
not,
like stat purposes, yes.
Okay.
I would assume.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if they were how they were like recording those.
Like it's not part of the 4 rounds of the Stanley Cup playoffs, but it is a playoff round.
Yeah.
I mean, this time, you know what I'm saying?
Do you guys think the main reason that the Canes weren't one of those 11 or 12 cities was because of the practice facility?
Probably.
It's got to be.
I think practice facility and ability to
I guess house
buy out all the hotels
Right.
needed. Like if it's gonna have fucking 6 teams or whatever. I mean, that's Jesus Christ. What kind of math was that? 12 teams. Yeah, we don't have unless just buy out North Hills. You can just like the league comes in, like we own North Hills now.
Yeah.
Right. And it's just, we're not big enough yet as a city. The infrastructure is just not there to do it. But the conference finals, the conference finals and cup finals will be best of 7. That's going to be the thing no matter what, I think. Teams, this is really interesting, dude. Teams can carry 28 players and as many goalies as they want. So, I mean, the goalies things is what it is. You're only going to have so many at your disposal in your system anyway. So you're still going to be looking at the 1 and 2, maybe a third one.
It's good for us.
Which is great for us. I mean, we got goalies in the system. It's better for a lot of teams that have deep goalie systems. The 28 players thing is huge for us. I mean, that's huge for us. It's huge for a lot of teams, huge for us. We got some great prospects.
Yeah.
Jake Bean, obviously.
I'll say not even that, but just all the
defensemen of the year.
All the D-men that we have. I mean, Dougie's coming back. Shea's going to be there. Obviously, Vatanen. Hopefully, they're all healthy.
Mm-hmm.
That's on top of everyone that we had. Like
they said, even Pesci might be able to come back. There's like the smallest chance.
That's wild.
That we might be able to get him back. Yeah, which kind of makes it. Does Jake Bean even see a game? Like, probably not, right?
I mean,
because I don't even know if Vatanen sees a game. Like, maybe just for the fact that we traded for him, give him a game or two. Like, but yeah, I don't see why you would. He's not locked up long term. Like,
I wouldn't dress him.
But you did big shouts out to Jake Bean, Josh. Like you said, he won AHL Defenseman of the Year. So
yeah. I would consider dressing Bean. I wouldn't dress Vatanen. But you're probably right. It's probably still too deep.
Yeah.
Especially if we're talking about the possibility of Pesci coming back.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if he's absolutely not in there, then what's his face has a chance. But
I feel like they're probably careful with Pesci anyway. You know, even if it's like a possibility, especially re-injuring the same shoulder, they'd be like, listen.
Besides,
that surgery
astrochronic anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I think it would have been before we get into like the lottery and stuff with the play-in rounds. Everyone's so upset, like teams that wouldn't have made the playoffs or have the chance to win and everything. Now, it would have been interesting to see him do something like the teams that were outside the playoffs playing the teams that are in the playoffs. They have to win maybe like a game or two more than the team that's already in. And this sounds like real homerish because obviously Hurricanes fan here, but I think that would have been interesting for all teams involved. Like all these guys because you're essentially what this has made, this play-in thing is making this whole regular season pointless. Like except for like 7 teams, having a situation where it's like best of 5, maybe whoever's the team that wasn't in the playoffs has to win 3 out of the 5 games, whereas the other team would only have to win 2 out of the 5 games, or maybe one team has to win 4, the other has to win 3, something like that.
Right.
They would just, I don't know, it's just like give a slight advantage, a slight prize to the teams that did fight and were playing games hard throughout the season. I don't know. And
that
I
way,
think
as
that
long as
would
they
have,
compete, it's just more of a formality.
yeah.
As long as they play well and
Yeah, and and it still gives those other teams the chance to win it all. It's not a 0% chance, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
that probably in some ways would be more fair.
and it would just, and it just maybe quell some of the anger that people have around this play-in system. That
Now you know that that's not going to happen.
definitely not going to happen.
You can't make everybody happy. It's just not
No,
possible.
it's impossible. I think it would have been interesting to see, but again, I don't have a problem with what they're doing. Be glad to see hockey back if they can do it.
Yeah.
safely.
At the end of the day, I'm pretty stoked. It does sound like, though, and before we look at this lottery, well, I guess, it's relevant to this. That draft itself might not happen till June, or excuse me, might not happen till October.
Yeah.
October.
That's going to be weird. It's going to be a long time. That's like a lot of time that these guys don't get ingratiated in the system too. You know what I mean?
That's when regular season puck drop should be happening.
Yeah. And these guys aren't getting into the building. They're not getting you're not getting to interview the rookies ahead of time, work anybody out. It's going to be super, super weird. It's going to be super, super weird.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, maybe they figure out a way to have the season start simultaneously, and I don't know. It's fucked.
It's super. I'm almost more interested now to see what they're going to do about next year. Next season.
Mm-hmm.
How next season's going to change.
Dude, I bought season tickets, and I don't know where, how, or when.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, obviously, shouts out to the people who have them and you didn't get to use them, but they took care of you motherfuckers. They told you what to do. You know what I'm saying? You could either pick games next season, fucking take games I was going to get, or fucking get your money back, I guess, right? Was that?
I think it's just like,
Cody?
Yeah, so it's just going to be like a credit towards next year. So I'm not getting any additional games. I'm just paying less for.
So you got that. I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, it is true.
At least maybe if I log in, I'll see something, but I haven't been hit up by anybody.
Yeah, I will say, I guess, before we get into the lottery, if you are watching the Scrum and it's not to see Dylan's Star Wars Christmas shirt, we're going to go much deeper this weekend on the matchups, as well as even talk about the odds, because the odds came out today for Vegas, and there's some very interesting numbers that I want to talk to you guys about this weekend.
Okay, very good.
I haven't looked at them. I have a feeling that we're underdogs to the Rangers. I have a sneaking suspicion.
Just a sneaking suspicion.
We will chat this weekend. So
fair enough.
Watch, listen, do whatever you're gonna do.
Do it.
And what's up with your shirt, Dylan? I'm sorry, Josh. It's like the third time we cut you
do.
off trying to get into the lottery.
What is the T-shirt?
Yeah, what's
the T-shirt?
Christmas shirt.
I mean, I see it. Star Wars.
Christmas
like,
and
why?
May.
But why? Yeah,
because it's always Christmas in my world, fellas. It's always Christmas. I'm always hearing jingle bells.
This isn't even a good bit.
It's not a bit. This isn't a bit. It's always Christmas in my world.
This is real life. You're a very positive guy, dude.
I guess so.
Thank you.
Squirrel Kringle up in this bit.
Sleigh bells ringling, ding, ding,
King
ding.
of it.
Yeah, he's
That's
a
the one.
with that fat ass gut and that dusty ass beard on his head.
So disrespectful.
Feeling like Tim Allen in the Santa Claus when he's turning.
That's my thing. That's what I'm going for. Straight up.
Nice, dude.
Favorite actor, hands down.
Dye your hair gray.
Transformation.
Dye your hair gray.
I'm getting there.
I
got that just for men on back order.
Oh, it's not essential products. That's true. But so, Josh, you were talking about the playoffs and the draft lottery,
I'm
dude?
to fucking talk about the draft
But
lottery,
before you
man.
get into that,
just gonna put my meat on cam, bro. I'm just about to put my whole fucking meat on cam, dude. You guys can just hang out with that. Fucking hate you guys.
Oh shit!
All right.
I didn't do nothing but put a shirt on, man.
The original draft.
No.
I'm not saying anything about the shirt.
I'm not letting
have a problem. The shirt was
I'm not letting him get that off.
The shirt's fine. Dylan can never wear out of date season theme shirts if it's not the season for that shirt.
That's going to be my whole thing now.
That's
going to be my whole thing.
Starting right now.
I'm not letting him get that off because I asked him about it before we started recording. I was like, dude, are you wearing a Christmas shirt? And he goes, ask me about it when we start recording. And then just didn't address
I didn't say it all cryptic like
dude,
that.
No, he did the hands. He said, hold all that. Pause, took a moment of pause. was like, ask me about it on the pod. And then went right back to his fucking phone, dude. Mad disrespectful. Still not over it. Draft
so
lottery.
the original draft was going to happen like around like June 25th, 26th. That's usually when that shit goes down. Well, now that's when the lottery is going to happen. And the first draft lottery, because there's going to be 2 potentially. So we kind of have an idea what that order is at least, and that's going to be Detroit and then Ottawa 2nd and 3rd, which it would have been San Jose's pick, but they have that pick. So Ottawa's looking possibly to have 2nd and the 3rd pick overall, followed by LA and then the fucking thing, LA, Anaheim, New Jersey, Buffalo at 7. Basically with those odds kind of decreasing various increments down to like half or over just a whole percent, you get to like 7. Am I breaking up
Do
like
you
a
think?
motherfucker?
Yeah. A little bit, but we heard it all.
It's sped up at the end.
Naturally.
Do you guys think so? From what I've heard, the draft class this year is not the strongest. What are your thoughts now with the whole Carlson trade and Ottawa getting that other pick? Do you think it was worth it?
I mean, for Ottawa, it has to be.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, look at Carlson now.
For San Jose, we were saying that when San Jose made the trade and then signed him, that we were like we don't get it. But Ottawa could be sick, dude. Ottawa could be sick.
They could really eat, man. They could really eat off this. I mean, goddamn.
Because it's not.
Consider this, dude. They also with the lottery, there's a chance they could. I'm getting a Zoom notification. Just like
I think we all just got it, dog.
Bro, yeah, we just got unlimited minutes.
I ain't read that shit.
Jake, you get that upgrade, man?
Dude, you know I did. I'm all
about
about
to be an hour long right
dude.
now, dude.
Look at you go, dude.
Let's go, dude. Anyway.
So before you get into that, Josh, now that we have time. No.
Bro, I got dinner cooking. Come on.
I'm about to lose my mind, dude. I lost my whole train of thought.
All right, so we went through the first 7 picks. We went through the first 7 picks. And then what happens with other teams?
The picks 8 through 16.
Dylan leaves.
He's just out. Just keep going.
Those next picks are going to be determined by the play-in elimination and the playoff elimination they're following. The problem is those teams also stand percent chances to pick all the way down to 1%, the first overall pick in the lottery.
Right.
So there's going to be 8 placeholders, I believe 8, that get put into the fray for the first lottery. So unknown team 1 through, or I guess really you would do 8 through 16, could get the 1st through 7th pick.
But how do they determine, say, if the lottery happens and one of the playoff teams gets the overall first pick, how do they determine which playoff team that got eliminated gets that pick?
They're going to have a second lottery.
Yeah. I think he's saying that like they're going to have the.
Let me finish explaining. So they'll have that, and then that'll happen. Now the hope is that none of those teams pick in the top 3.
Right.
If they don't, then they're not going to do a second draft. So if they pick like 4 through whatever, then the order is just going to be what it would have been like any other normal draft lottery, and those teams are just going to be determined by how they get eliminated. If any of those teams pick in the top 3, then they'll be like, well, that's I guess that's where I kind of lose the reasoning, but I guess they'll be like, well, that's FUBAR or some shit, and then they have a second lottery to determine. That's where I kind of
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I was hoping that you had a better grasp on it because I was reading about it. No, because I was reading about it and I was like, dude, like I don't even know where to begin to like say what they're gonna do. It was confusing as a motherfucker.
Yeah.
But basically they have it set up so that regardless of who gets the first 7 picks, they have it set up so those teams, I guess, can't just I don't know. Like so imagine this. Pittsburgh gets eliminated by who are they playing? Montreal?
Yeah.
They get eliminated. They get eliminated by Montreal. They're slotted to they're slotted up to the what was then the 8th lottery pick, and then they get picked first overall. Pittsburgh gets the first overall pick. I think that's why there's a second. I think that's why there's a second lottery. So that doesn't happen. I think
Makes
that
sense.
they'll get put back in, and so those top 3 picks can still go to those top 7 percent. I guess maybe that's the part I'm missing. I'm wrong about that, but I think that's kind of the point.
Yeah, which I get it, but at the same time, why even have those second set of 8 teams in that first lottery?
Because I think they don't want to infringe on the way the lottery's just done, which is kind of the bullshit mindset that the NHL has, is like, we don't want to mess up. Because teams have played this whole regular season, whether they're tanking or not. They know what the odds are. The odds are like what they're supposed to be going into it every year. So they've had this presumption of what it's going to be leading up to. You can't just throw that curveball last minute and say, oh, you guys aren't even going to be able to have odds. I guess that's why. But
that's like the one thing that they're okay with, like, not changing.
Yeah.
Like, all right, we're going to add more teams to the playoffs. We're going to do it with no fans, but
28
the lottery
roster
has to stay the same.
Fuck how many goals you have. Fuck
Yeah, we don't have 15.
But the lottery is the focus. Like,
yeah, I mean, that's just it. I mean, because at the end of the day, we're talking about draft picks. It can impact. Ironically, let's keep talking about the bullshit here, because also too, we talk a lot about those conditions and what was going to happen with those. Teams are being offered the ability to renegotiate. They can go right back to the table and talk about it. So say, for example, and I'll pull right from the Hockey Guy's video. Shouts out the Hockey Guy. He used the example of Toronto says, hey, we don't really give up our first round pick this year. How about we give you ours next year? And I guess Carolina can go, okay.
Do the completed deals, like, is it?
They are what they are.
They are what they are, but so both teams would have to agree to push it
right.
back.
So the team who's happy has all the power.
Okay.
But that's the whole thing, is they can renegotiate. So they might come back and go, well, let's give you our second this year, whatever they have, and give us our first back, and then we'll also give you our. I think they can do that. They can renegotiate. So whatever limits they're allowed within those set of rules.
That's pretty cool.
I think that kind of really clears it up as far as, you either made a bad trade that you can't get back, which is like, you shouldn't have made that trade anyway. That's how that would have happened. Or these are unprecedented times. If both teams are willing to talk about it, you can take another crack at it.
I like it from the angle of, like, the teams being like, well, what about all this? And the league saying, fucking figure it out. Like, that's the league's
doing
all this.
Wipe my hands of it. You guys fucking figure it out.
Yeah,
and also, too, for anyone who's, like, overly pissed off about their conditions, or, like, feeling like they really got fucked by their trade, it's like, you shouldn't have made that trade at the end of the day, which is what it all comes down to. Like, you make a business decision, like, there's no give backsies on that.
I don't know if you know this, but with the whole re-lottery thing, is that only if the first overall pick goes to
top 3?
Oh, it's any of the top 3. Okay.
I think it's the top 3.
Okay, so now I see why they're still doing it all together, because that still gives those teams the chance to hop. Okay.
So they could announce the first overall pick and be like, okay, yeah, it's Ottawa, like they had, or it's Detroit, they had the highest odds. Then they can announce the second pick, and then it's team 10.
Yeah.
Right.
And then then Detroit would keep first overall, and they would re-lottery for the. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah,
makes more sense. And on the second time, if, let's say, the Rangers get it or Pittsburgh gets it, then that is what it is after the lottery.
I guess.
I don't know. I'm sure this will all get cleared up.
That's where I'm a little unsure. That's where I'm a little unsure.
Just waiting for Tim and Sid to explain it to me, because I can't do the fucking
Tim
articles.
and Sid are the hockey guy, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. But I don't know. The league's doing what they can.
Yeah,
doing what they can. Speak of doing what you can, dude. Like, and trying to, like, break barriers and get shit done. Like, here's like sports leagues are, like, doing what they can to come back. Like, they're trying to figure shit out. Businesses are struggling to stay open. And Elon Musk is out here like, we're going to send some humans to outer space.
We're launching rockets.
Right here, right now. That doesn't wait.
No.
Nope. No.
Great Frontier
waits,
man.
It does wait. It waits until Saturday.
Hopefully. I guess. Shouts out this rain.
right. It does wait.
It does weigh a little bit.
We wait for weather though. We don't wait for this.
Well, the Great Frontier waits on the Great Frontier. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where do you think that shit came from, bro?
Well,
Came from outer space, man.
So yeah, so
That's
they
right.
It's in outer space. That's where
They-
the rain comes from.
they postponed the SpaceX launch to Saturday, and the only thing that I could think of when I was watching it was it would be so funny. So they're I think they're supposed to be up there for at least like half a
Weeks.
year.
Yeah.
No, I think it's like 120 days at least.
Oh,
Like
damn.
they're going up to the space station.
It's a lot of days.
Could you imagine? So could you imagine having a fight with your wife right before? Like, hey, fuck you! I'm going to space. I'll see you in 120 days. You're like, all right, I'm ready to go. And they're like, it's off. You gotta go, and you gotta go back home to deal with that bullshit for
I'd
the next
stay in the
48
rocket.
hours.
I'd
think-
leave me strapped in.
That would be cold.
You know what? No, I'm gonna say this. I think the distance, the distance of being a planet, of being a planet's distance away from. I guess you're not gonna play like fucking hours. Leaving the atmosphere, leaving this Earth's atmosphere from your significant other. I think that's enough distance, dude, to bring you guys back together. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what I'm
She's
saying.
gonna
is,
cheat
like,
on you.
he-
She's gonna
he-
cheat on you.
If she's not now, I promise you she is
Yeah.
when you go in outer space.
Yeah, like,
They
what
gotta
are
go-
you gonna
Whichever
do
one
about
you
it,
are
dude?
going up, your
Yeah.
significant other's cheating on you while you're out.
Oh, me. If you're fighting, definitely cheating, dude. There's no way.
That's
There's no
awesome.
way she's not. He's not. Whoever. I guess
Those dudes
yeah.
were so ready to get up there. Now they gotta
Oh.
wait. Now they gotta go back. They gotta masturbate. Sadly,
I was gonna
and
say
then-
when I go out of space, the first thing I'm doing in 0G, busting
Jerking
a
off.
nut. Busting
Didn't
a
they
nut.
talk about who was that astronaut that talked about it?
I'm
There's
sure
some-
many have. I'm sure many people have. I'm sure many
probably.
people have done it.
I mean, what do you think it's
Sex
like?
in 0G would be pretty sick.
I was
too.
about to ask, what do you think boning in 0G would be like, dude? Better, worse?
Awesome.
Ooh,
I'm gonna.
better.
I don't
I'm just gonna
know.
say
I don't
better.
know. You know what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
know, man. I think that'll mess up kind of your whole operation down there, man.
You kind of gotta like strap on, I guess.
What do you mean? It's like your blood flow?
I was actually literally thinking, like, is your blood flow actually like, or your blood pressure lower in outer space, or is it higher?
Well, if it's
I guess you're in the
different.
space station. You're in the space
But I'm
station.
talking about the
The actual
physiological process of climate. Yeah.
what are you talking
I
about?
don't think you're gonna nut the same in space, Josh. I
Why
feel
It
not?
like
probably
it'll
pushes
affect-
you backwards, dude.
Well, no. You say,
Oh.
like,
Whoa.
are you saying you can't obtain friction? Like, what are you saying?
No, I'm saying, bruh. I'm saying we need to see what the studies are on zero gravity on the functionality of your balls.
Of your balls?
Yeah, of nutting, of literally busting. a
I mean,
nut.
you can piss and shit in space. I'm sure
You can spit
nut.
out of your mouth.
Zero
You're saying that
gravity.
are you saying like interior liquids can't travel through your body in 0G? Is that what you're suggesting?
I'm saying
'Cause
I
that's
want to see the
preposterous.
studies. I'm not saying anything can or can't do anything. I'm saying I want to see the studies.
I think you just want to study some balls.
I think
Oh,
he
you
wants to
wanna
nut in
study
space.
some balls?
I think he wants to
Who
nut
does
in
it?
space.
Who doesn't want to nut?
I want to nut
True.
in space.
I've
I wanna
seen
nut in
I've
space.
seen some high production value simulations of space sex, and I think it can be done, dude.
You say high value production, but I really I'm picturing what you probably watched, and I imagine the space part was like the least amount of the production.
The least amount of the budget probably went to the space part. I can't deny that, but
There's way more budget into the implants than there was in the outer space back then.
but she was a great artist, dude. She did a great backdrop. It was all hand drawn.
She was an outstanding artist.
And they were on the trapeze wires. So I think all the physics line up. I don't know.
That checks out.
All the physics line up.
Oh,
man.
fuck, man. And
Now-
Tyson Fury and Mike Tyson.
No, hold on.
Baby fight, dude.
No, fuck you guys. Before we get to that, stifle me, I'll stifle you. Before we get to that, back to that outer space shit now, because there has not been like a porn production done in outer space, right?
No,
Not
for
that we know
sure
of.
not.
Not that
Not
we
that we
know
know
of.
of. It's like two
Unless
come
they
out,
were
right?
two astronauts, like.
Well, there's probably some outer space home sex video.
Yeah,
Dude,
I mean,
definitely
there's been
outer
no
space home
like.
sex video, dude.
This
Yeah,
is
like,
the
like, people
beginning
have had
of.
sex in outer space. I'm not denying that. I'm saying 100%. What I'm saying is there hasn't been like a full on. We are going to outer space to shoot a porno That hasn't happened.
Oh, did you? So obviously, this like the whole SpaceX
Is it
thing was
going
the
down?
beginning of the commercialization. No, but they are talking about filming a movie with Tom Cruise in the national or in the space station. Like once
Makes
they
sense.
commercialize all this and figure out SpaceX.
Dude,
Yo,
what if they act? Dude, James
imagine-
Cameron's gonna blow up the
Yo.
fucking space station, bro.
Bro, they do that. They do that, and like that shit makes it to like a fucking a movie theater movie, and then we watch that shit, and
Can't
we're
tell the
just
difference.
like our whole perception of like what we think outer space looks like through movies and shit, and like they give us that, and we're just like, yo, that shit is trash.
Yeah,
dude.
this
That
shit
looks like
sucks,
shit.
dude. Take that
Yeah, I'd
back
rather
to the.
watch-
Yeah.
I'd rather watch the prequels to Star Wars in outer space than this
Get
garbage.
the screen
dude.
out, you fuck.
Dude.
Yeah,
Let's be honest. No one's ever really been to
Space is
space. They
fake
do it
anyway.
all.
Yeah,
Yeah, they do it all
exactly.
in a production facility anyhow. So
Yeah. yeah.
Shouts
So
out.
you're right, we won't be able to tell the difference, dude. Space is fake, dude.
exactly, dude. Shouts out Alex
Flat
Jones.
Earth, dude.
Well, let me start that Alex Jones podcast back up, dude. We'll get down. We'll get to the bottom of this fucking space nonsense, dude.
Dude, the water turns the
Space
frogs gay.
nonsense.
It's true.
Huh?
That's right.
What'd you say?
So the water turns the frogs gay.
It's science.
Gay frogs.
It's what he said.
This was the first. This is the first
Frogs ain't bothering nobody.
American astronauts being launched by an American rocket off of American soil, though, since we first went to the moon. But
No. That's not right.
No,
that is incorrect.
it's not.
Very
But
correct.
I know it's been a long time since we've done it.
Not 9 years.
Whatever, Cody.
9
Earlier
years.
before we started, you said
He
it was the
said no
first
one
people
left
off
American
US
soil, dude.
You said the first people. You said the first
first
people to leave
astronauts.
U.S. soil. The first
Dude.
astronauts to leave U.S. soil. Is what
Bro,
I said.
you guys knew what the fuck I meant.
Some
Dude, I
astronauts
take-
go on vacation to Europe, Cody.
We
I
have,
take everything literally. I take
We have
everything.
we have
based
sent
on-
Americans to space, but they have traveled to Russia and shot from there. We have not shot
Think about that,
Americans
dude.
from
Russian
U.S.
link.
soil in 9 years.
That was a really good.
What was the
rocket
last?
launch.
I don't like the drop
Good.
though. The drop seemed kind of ominous. The drop in the.
Yeah,
pad,
why'd
dude.
you? Well, they dropped the part. They dropped the.
Oh
the-
yeah, because they're
Yeah.
reusable. That's actually the big thing about this. The
Well, actually, it
SpaceX
doesn't
rockets
drop.
are
Yeah, no, it
recyclable.
just comes straight back down.
When they did the satellite with the car, didn't one of the pieces just totally eat shit, and then the other one laying
Probably.
it back like perfectly? Did you guys watch that shit?
I didn't watch it, but I'm sure something went wrong. The first time they tested this rocket, they're sending people up in it, blew up.
Chill, bro.
I'm just saying. That was in the article I read.
Well, it'd be alright.
Do you guys
man.
remember when
Okay.
that Red Bull dude jumped out of the fucking that
Yeah,
thing?
that's fucking.
He
That
jumped
was
out of outer
wild.
space?
That was wild. God.
Do you think when he did that, Tom Cruise, like we were talking, like you're saying, Tom Cruise, you think
He was
saw
pissed
that?
off for days.
Exactly.
He's not gonna
beat that shit by
10
like,
feet.
motherfucker.
He's not
dude."
gonna
I'm
beat that
gonna
shit by
make a
10
movie.
feet easy. Yeah, that's when they started. He was like, "We're."
But then he jumps out too high and fucking whoa, just
Oh,
fucking
no, no,
goes
no.
ahead.
no.
And then it's just that movie with what's her face from The Blind Side, dude.
Oh, yeah. Fuck. What is the name of that? It's
Her
not
and George
Interstellar.
Clooney. What'd you say?
I said it's not Interstellar. It's
No, yeah, but I thought you said an actress. Never mind. It's George Clooney and man, Sandra Bullock.
yeah, Sandra Bullock.
Shouts out Sandra Bullock. Shouts out Michael Orr.
Shouts out Michael Orr, dude. Shouts out the
Um,
2016 Panthers season. Never forget.
Facts.
Shouts out Mike Tyson, probably losing to Tyson Fury.
Yeah, it's probably
I don't-
not even
I don't
gonna
see that
happen.
I don't
Probably
see
not
that
gonna
like if
happen.
yeah.
I know
Especially
it was-
join like a seniors league.
And just and just
just-
murder some 50-year-olds, dude. Just fucking.
I'm putting the entire bank on Tyson Fury to win that fight. There's
Dude, what if he's
I'm
out there
not
since
doing it.
he's still like in competition though? So he's like, I'm gonna take it easy. I'm not trying to get anything crazy happen. And then
gets
he
washed.
gets obliterated, just like a right hand, and just fucking, and he's never the same. He loses his belt to Anthony
Why don't-
Joshua or Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, no, I don't think you can come back from that.
Oh no.
You're done.
Yeah. I don't think the fight's gonna happen though. Even if it did, I think they said it's gonna be an exhibition match, so it would just be
Right.
for the sake of spectacle. But I'd
Holyfield
watch it.
rematch.
Bring everybody back. Where's Muhammad Ali, dude? It's a joke. It's a joke.
He-
Internet, don't get mad.
The worst part is I like for a split second was like,
Where is he at?
think about it, dude. Why would you say that?
One of two places.
What do you mean, bro? What
He's
do you
one of two. I don't know.
mean?
I don't know.
Well, this has been great.
This has been entirely too long.
Yeah, we didn't say anything problematic. Kept it pretty by the book. If you want more of this kind of content, though, hit us up at Talkin Sauce Pod. We're figuring out this SpaceX thing. Cancellation Cup Season 2, our team's nice. Follow me at JCobb, JAY _.
It's all conspiracy. It's SpaceX, but really you're supposed to say it faster, so it's SpaceX.
SpaceX. If only we named the Scrum.
We're figuring out.
Josh, where can they get you at?
At Teams, TEABZZ.
Cody, where they get you at?
At CD_218.
Don't even know his own at.
Dylan, where to get you at?
You teabags, you mum. 69420 lowercase x capital X. Find me on Reddit. Jacob, where they get you?
I said they find me JY_COBBB.
I didn't even hear you say that shit.
BBB.
I got short-term memory loss.
Look at that.
Is that a high school yearbook?
Is that a high school yearbook?
What
Look at
do
that man in the middle. Look at that man in the middle.
What do you mean?
Dude, no, hold it back up. Hold it back up.
What is that?
Let's compare haircuts. Let's compare haircuts, bro.
It's not too far off, dog.
Yo, shouts out not aging in 10 years, bro.
Right, bro? That's what you got.